Hello and welcome to my mid-year freakout tag. It's honestly so confusing that it's the middle of the year, and I remember doing this last year and that doesn't seem like that was that long ago, so a little bit crazy. But basically the mid-year freakout tag is where I tell you everything that I've read so far, which is less than it should be. I'm pretty sure I'm like 5 books behind on my Goodreads goal. But I'm going to answer the questions, tell you about all the books that I have read, and it's going to be a good time. To keep up with what I've been reading, you can follow me on Goodreads, you can follow me on my Bookstagram, and let's go. Let's get into it. So, best book so far, starting out strong. Obviously, this is not going to be a surprise. Emily Henry, Happy Place. I feel like people have not shut up about this book since it came out, and honestly for good reason. I think it's her best book so far. I'm literally, when I say I would read Emily Henry's grocery lists, literally I'm signed up for her email list that's called Emily's Grocery List, so I really would. I knew the minute she announced this that it was going to be a 5-star read for me. I could tell the premise, knowing that it was Emily Henry, knowing it was a second chance romance, I just knew it was going to tick all the boxes for me, and it exceeded my expectations, even with me going in knowing I was going to love it. Yeah, I definitely highlighted a lot in here. I don't want to spoil in case you haven't read it. If you haven't, you need to, but in case you haven't read it, it's about this friend group. They always go to one of the friends' lake houses in Maine, or beach houses? Lake house. They always go there every summer and they have like this big trip. And this is going to be their last trip because the house is getting sold by the friend's dad. And so they all come together, and our main girl Harriet is under the impression that her fiance, or now ex-fiance, and none of her friends know that they broke up, she's under the impression that he's not going to be there, but he is there. So they have to kind of fake date, pretend for their friends, and try to have like a good last trip. And it's just so good and beautiful. It's an amazing book about friendships, about family, about found family. I am a girl for a found family. You put found family and I'm there. Emily Henry has always been amazing with quotes, but this I think is the most quotable book. Let me give you a little sample. I rarely said his name though. It felt too much like an incantation, as if it would light me up from the inside and he'd see how much I wanted him, how all day long my mind caught on him like a scar in a record. Are you joking? Are you kidding, Emily? Anyway, best book so far this year. It's gonna be hard to beat. Next question is best sequel, and I feel like technically, well, I guess I have. I finished off the Addicted series, which is really sad, with Addicted After All, which is the technical ending of the Addicted series, the Lily and Lo side. And then after this, the Calloway Sisters series carries on, which Lily and Lo are in, but like it's more focused on Lily's sisters. And then there's like a tie-up book, and then there's spin-offs and all that. So I'm not nearly done with this universe, but I'm technically done with the Addicted series, and that makes me so sad. If you don't know what the Addicted series is, this is the last book in it, so I'm not going to talk too much about what happens, but the entire series is about Lily and Lo. Lily is a sex addict, Lo is an alcoholic, and it's basically them just going through all of the things that they have to go through dealing with those addictions, and they are best friends. They've been best friends. It's like childhood friends to lovers. It's so good, and I can't sing enough praises about the Addicted series. Literally, the fact that I can't call them up and talk to them feels not right. It doesn't feel real. Like they're too real to me. They are too ingrained in my heart and in my brain that I feel like they should be real people that I can like keep up with. But so this is the best sequel. I actually rated this and the one right before it, Thrive, I rated them the same, both a 4.5. So technically they're both the best sequels, but technically they're the only sequels I've read this year, so they win by default, but they would win anyway. Next is a new release that you have not read but want to, and you would not believe how backed up I am on Book of the Month books. But both the new releases I want to read are Book of the Month books. First, The Last Word. This is a thriller. I might possibly be reading this with my book club, and by book club I mean me and two of my best friends. This is about a girl who is house sitting, and she starts to kind of be stalked, or think she's being stalked, after she leaves a 1-star review on I think it's on a horror novel. And it's just supposed to be really spooky. I was excited about it anyway, but then I didn't really hear much about it, and then Destiny Sidwell sang praises about it. And she judges thrillers very harshly, but she said this was amazing, so now I'm even more excited to read it. I'm gonna read it anyway, even if me and my friends decide that that's not gonna be the book we read, but I'm very excited about that. And then another book of the month, Adelaide. This is I don't really know what to tell you, like what it's about. It's a literary contemporary fiction. Basically, it's just about this girl Adelaide and like her life, love. I think it's just like a catch-all, like coming of age, finding yourself novel. I don't know, I want to go into it kind of blind. Me knowing nothing about it at all, it's giving me kind of The People We Keep vibes. And if it is kind of like that, that's one of my favorite books of all time, so that would be amazing. If it's nothing like that, then forget I said that. But I'm excited to read this. It's really short, it's really small, especially for a book of the month book. It's only 290 pages, it's not even 300 pages, so that should be a nice, fun, short read. Next question is most anticipated read for the second half of the year. I have two. First of all, Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I know that Icebreaker is a polarizing book. People either love it or hate it. I loved Icebreaker literally so much. So Hannah Grace, that wrote Icebreaker, is coming out with Wildfire, and it's like a summer camp. I think it's a second chance romance, maybe enemies to lovers, something like that. But again, second chance romance, you've got me. I did not go to summer camp growing up as a kid, but for some reason summer camp really resonates with me, and anytime a book is set in a summer camp, I don't know, it really does something for me. It's a trope I really enjoy, maybe because I didn't go to summer camps growing up. Looking forward to that. I think that comes out in October. And then the second one, I'm not sure when it comes out, but The Good Part by Sophie Cousins. Can't remember why I wanted to read it, but I know I wanted to read it. But I know that I really like Sophie Cousins. Hi, Rainy here. The Good Part is about a woman who wishes to get to the good part of her life, and she wakes up with a husband and kids, and she's in her 40s, and she just has this perfect life. Sounds amazing. Can't wait to read it. I'm very excited about that. Also, if I'm honest, both of these covers are just really cute, and so I'm excited for that reason too. Biggest disappointment, it's Pucked. I don't want to talk about it. It's by far the biggest disappointment of the year, so I have to talk about it because none of the other books have really disappointed me. I don't want to hate on this author. I don't want to sit here and hate on this book because I know somebody probably adored it. I know she wrote that book, she finished it, she published it. I haven't done that, so who am I to say? But it's terrible. It's so terrible. I want to bleach it from my brain. I'm sorry I ever read it. I'm so sorry. My apologies. It was cute when it wasn't being what it was. It was just it was very steam based, very spice based, and that's fine with me. I can get around that, like if there's something else going on, but the spicy scenes were literally bizarre. They were bizarre. I don't know. I don't want you to go read it for yourself. I don't want you to be like, I don't want to be so vague that you're like, what could she be talking about? Like, what's so bad about it? And go read it. Don't go read it. Yeah, the romance was cute when it wasn't being like that. I'm like, why are you being this way? But I'm so sorry I read that. Next is the biggest surprise, and for me it was Second Chance Summer by Jill Shalbis. I read this for a video, and I don't want to give away the video, so I don't want to say too much, but I basically picked this blindly, like completely blindly, and bought it. And I was honestly really surprised. Again, second chance, you're gonna get me with a second chance romance. It really put me in the summer mood. It's set like in a little mountain town, like at a ski resort, like ski lodge. This girl, and this is not a spoiler, but she leaves town when she's younger after her sister passes away in the town. And she leaves behind this possible relationship, and she comes back and he's still all about it. So it's about them like finding each other again and her making peace with the town and making peace with her sister's death and all that. And it was really cute. It was in third person, which I normally don't vibe with, but it was fine. The setting was really cute, the romance was sweet, and yeah, it really surprised me. But I will talk more about it when that video finally comes out. I've been trying to get it out for a while, so you will see it soon. I think I ended up rating this 3.75 or 4 stars, which is great for just completely blindly, never read this author, never heard of her. Yeah, I'd be down to read some more of the series. I think this is the first in a, not like a series, but like they're like companion novels, I think. Next is a new author, either new to you or a debut. Honestly, one of the only new authors, and also a book that I really enjoyed, was Springtide by Kai Stevens. I don't know if this was a debut. I'm not sure. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, and it wasn't like one of my favorite books of the year, but it was really cute. It gave me butterflies. I didn't expect much from it just because it was, you know, just a random Kindle Unlimited book I picked up. But I don't know if Kai Stevens has a backlog or if there's like more coming out in this series, or if it's gonna be a series. I don't know. This girl lies to her professor and says she's dating someone on the football team, so that will be a conflict of interest, so that she can write about the baseball team, because she has a crush on a guy on the baseball team. So she wants to be assigned to them, not football. So the only thing she can think to like excuse herself from being assigned to the football team is like, oh, I'm dating someone, conflict of interest. So she pretends that she's dating this guy, and he's like a big loner, but they both work on the beach, and she's seen him before, and so they do this whole fake dating thing. I really liked the characters, especially the guy character. He was a lot more complex than I think I normally see, so yeah, it was good. Next is a book that made you cry, and I feel like literally every book makes me cry or tear up. I'm a very easy crier, but even if I weren't the way I used to be by Amber Smith, I hesitate to recommend this, because definitely read the trigger warnings, because it can get very graphic in places. It's about this girl. It's just about her like going through her high school journey, like carrying the weight of what happened to her. And it's very, very sad, but it's very beautiful in a very sad way. I tabbed the mess out of it. I sobbed like a baby reading this, and I don't know how you couldn't, but yeah. That's probably when I cried the most. I definitely cried finishing the Addicted series. I definitely cried during Happy Place. I'm a big crier. On the opposite side, what's a book that made you happy? This book is the answer to this question and the next question of the most beautiful book. Look at this cover. She's so adorable. And I wish I had my copy of The Summer of Broken Rules. But this and that side by side are gonna be so cute. I love K.L. Walther's cover art. It's adorable. I don't know who she gets to do it. Josephine Reyes. I don't know if she's the same person that did the art for The Summer of Broken Rules, but they have the same vibe, so I would think maybe. This book made me so happy. Going into it, I was a little bit biased because The Summer of Broken Rules is like my favorite YA romance of all time. And so I already was going in, it's by the same author, I don't know if I said that, but I was already going in with like the good feelings of that book, being like, not comparing them, but being like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. I didn't like this one as much as The Summer of Broken Rules. I don't think that I can like anything as much as The Summer of Broken Rules, but this was so sweet, so fun. She goes to this boarding school. Her mom is a teacher there. Senior year, a jester is chosen. This jester like pulls the elaborate senior prank, and they like choose a new person each year and nobody knows who it is. She gets chosen by the jester to like be one of the minions to like help with the prank, and it turns out it's her ex-boyfriend, and it's kind of slowly revealing why they broke up. I want to go back and reread and highlight every single one. There are borderline too many Taylor Swift references in this, but there are so many. And I really like Taylor, but I am on like an all-time high Taylor Swift kick right now. This was just, every time I saw something I was like, oh. But either way, this gives very much, think Gold Rush. If you like Gold Rush by Taylor Swift, this is Gold Rush. The main guy, the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, his name is Taggart Swell. It's technically not summer because it takes place like during the last week of school, but it just has that like summer's coming, like last chance to have an adventure, fun scavenger hunt type vibe. It was just really, really sweet. I liked Tag a lot. Tag has a best friend. Tag's the boyfriend. I said that. Tag has a best friend named Alex, and they just have a super cute bromance. All the side characters were adorable, made me happy, and most beautiful book. Also, a reason it's the most beautiful book is at the beginning of each chapter, there's like these little leaf decals, and then I'll blur it so I don't spoil anything, but there's like clues in the book, and look at these pages for the clues. That is literally gorgeous. Mwah. Last but not least, the question is, what books do you want to get to before the end of the year? And I literally have so many, but here's like some main priority ones that I like have a plan to read. I started Daisy Jones and the Six. This is a copy someone let me borrow. Bree let me borrow. Thanks, Bree. And I'm going to read it. I started to read it, and then I wanted to finish it before the show came out. I didn't end up doing that, and then it just got like swept by the wayside. I didn't DNF it. I'm gonna continue reading it. I think I literally have I have the place dog-eared, but I really do like Taylor Jenkins Reid, and people clearly love this book, so I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do it. And then I also I have my bookmark still in here. I got 12 pages into Cherish, which is the last book in the Crave series, and I'm just not ready for it right now. I'm just not prepared. I'm not like in the fantasy mood. I love the Crave series and I will always love the Crave series, but I'm not like in my Crave series mood right now. So I am gonna finish this before the end of the year, guaranteed, but just not right now. And then I keep waiting for the right time to read Normal People by Sally Rooney. I keep waiting for the right time, waiting for when it strikes me. Can you tell that I'm a mood reader? The thing about this book is that I know there's so many intricacies and like little details, and I want to be able to like really soak it up and annotate it and tab it and all that, and that's just not the reading mood I'm in right now. I just want to like go fast, get through these books, read some nice light romances, get through my summer reads, do some rereads and all that. But I'm gonna commit one day. I'm gonna stop being lazy. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tab it. I'm going to read Normal People by Sally Rooney this year, and now I've said it. So I honestly can't believe I haven't gotten to this book yet, especially because one of her other books is a 5-star read of mine. But Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, I literally have the gorgeous Book of the Year winner with a nice gold. Oh, it's so cute. I know it's a crime that I haven't read this yet. I'm going to read it. For some reason, a lot of times I associate books with certain months, not even just like Christmas books in December or like fall books, you know, or like summer books. But for some reason, this book in my mind, I don't know what month it was released. I don't know what month it came out, but for some reason, this book gives me big September vibes. I can't explain it. It's just one of those things. This book also gives me like fall time. Like, I don't know, not fall, but like September, October, November. I don't know, that is fall. This gives me September vibes, and so I want to read it in September. Maybe I'll get to it before that, maybe I'll get to it after that, but the plan right now is to read it in September, and I'm gonna read it before the year ends. So that completes my mid-year freakout tag. That wasn't as bad as I thought. I pretty much had a different book for each answer besides doubling up on what happens after midnight. But my goal for the year is 60 books, and I feel like that's doable. I hit 50 last year. I've read 6 books this month, but I just cannot get caught up from the months that I read like 1 or 2 books. But I'm really trying. Again, if you want to keep up with me, I have a Goodreads, I have a book account on Instagram, I have an Etsy with bookish things, and I have at least 2 more videos planned if I can just get them done, you know? So be on the lookout for those. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.